going on? We're back to our exciting episode of Attack Productions. Today I have Bankrupt once again by Fluf. Not away from the camera, but this time on camera, as he's bringing us Gogeta, aka Goku Vegeta Fusion Warriors. Blue, yellow, comments, links. Check them out. Let's get into it.
So this is my Gogeta deck profile. It's so far undefeated. Really like the deck. We'll kind of go into it. There's a couple changes I want to make to the deck. I'll highlight those as we get there. I just haven't had a chance to do it yet. So looking at the leader, permanent, all multicolor sands, ignore energy exhaust, which is really important for the deck. And then activate main once per turn, add up to one card from your life to your hand, then search the top 5 for a blue or yellow sand. There's no restriction on that. So it could be the secret rare, it could be an A-drop, it could be a Kefla, it could be anything. There's no alternate awaken condition, but once your life is at 5 or less life, you draw 2 cards and flip over. Then we are on the back side of the leader. We still have the ignore energy exhaust, and then this time on swing you get to draw a card and then add up to 1 card from your life to your hand. And then for 1 blue energy, you can draw a card, choose one of your opponent's battle cards, energy cost 4 or less, and send it back to the owner's hand, which is really strong. So generally, you want to get the activate main on the Goku off 2 times per turn. You're really digging for the secret rare. You're really digging for an 8-drop Gogeta. So you want to resolve this twice before you awaken, if at all possible. And then you got the backside. This is the winner card that I got.
Because we, for some reason, not only didn't get pre-release, we didn't get our tournament kit.
Yeah. Going over the main of the deck, we've got Sun Goku combination attack and hell. I play this guy at 4 of. So he has an auto. If he is sent to the warp by your Z extra card or by a Gogeta skill from the drop, you get to search out a Vegeta that is blue with 5,000 power and add it to your hand. And then activate main for 1 yellow energy. If your leader is a blue Sun Goku card, you get to draw 1 card and play this card from your hand. This is a 5,000 draw 1. You're never actually playing this card, but he's pretty good. And then we run 1, 2, 3 of the SS2 Sun Goku Counter Strike. This guy's a blocker permanent. If your leader is our leader, he gets plus 15,000. Permanent, if this card would leave the battlefield, it's sent to the warp instead. And then for 1 yellow energy, if this card is sent to the warp by one of your Gogeta skills or extra card skills, you get to play this card and then choose one of your battle card or one of your opponent's battle cards and switch to rest mode. Almost never do that. Your energy's pretty tied up doing other things. So the idea is just to have yellow Gokus at 5,000 power. The yin to that yang is the blue Vegeta. So we've got the combination attack. This is exactly like the combination attack in Hell Goku, except when he is sent to the warp, you add a Goku, a yellow Goku with 5,000 power or less from your deck to your hand. And then we've got 3 SS Vegeta Counter Strikes. This guy's a critical. If your leader is our leader, it gets plus 15,000. If it's removed from the battle area, it's sent to the warp. And then for 1 blue energy, if this card is sent from the drop to the warp by one of your skills, you get to play this card, choose one of your opponent's battle cards with an energy cost of 4 or less, and place it at the bottom of the owner's deck. So, again, idea is just to have 7 blue Vegetas that are 5,000 power. Because I don't have my full SPR set. This is the SS3 Goku. I'm not even going to read his effect because the card's honestly dog shit. The big thing is that it's a multicolor sand that you can charge. That's all I've used it for. I've never actually played this card.
Yeah. The permanent only works if it's on the field in active mode.
Yeah.
I feel like the permanent should have been, it can be comboed even in rest mode.
Yeah, I feel like that too. And then we have 4 of the Veku. I don't have the promos. I would probably play the promos over this guy. Again, I'm not going to go over this guy's effect. The big important piece to this guy is you can play him for 1 energy union fusion, and then he does have Aegis. So if you need the extra defense early, you can do that. But again, the important part is that it's a blue-yellow sand that ignores energy exhaust in the deck. So those are like my 8 charge targets. If I see them, they just get charged. Or they're combo fodder if I need to arrival or something like that. Or resolve Aegis. I run 3 of the big 8-drop Gogeta. This card is snapped. I will up this to 4. I will probably end up dropping a Veku for the 4th copy of the Gogeta, if we're all at all honesty. So this guy's got a lot to him. He's deflect, double strike, blocker, Aegis, and then for 4 energy you can Union Fusion with a blue Vegeta, yellow Goku, 5,000 power. You draw 2 cards on that, and then auto once per turn. When your energy is switched to active mode by one of your skills, you get to choose one of your opponent's battle cards or unison cards, switch it to rest mode, and then switch this card to active mode. Offensively, you can swing double strike with this, use the Z Leader's effect to activate battle to restand 2 energy, and restand this card and swing for double strike again. And then he also can't be removed by opponent's skills until the end of your opponent's next turn after he's played. So it's super sticky. You're going to resolve Aegis off of it, unless you're playing against yellow that is going to Vegeta's Final Flash you, or you're playing against the new Janemba deck. They can rip the Aegis off before you're able to activate it defensively. So I'm going to be running 4 of those, but 3 has worked so far. And then the last Gogeta target is the Secret Rare. The Secret Rare 100% stabilizes the deck. If you can see the Secret Rare before turn 3, it pretty much makes you unstoppable, because your opponent can't remove this guy by skills. He Union Fusions for a blue or yellow energy. You can activate Aegis by choosing one of your opponent's battle card, or your opponent chooses 1 card in their hand and discards it. And then he also, when you switch one of your cards to active mode, you get to switch him. When one of your skills switches one of your energy to active mode, you get to restand him, then choose any of your opponent's cards and switch them to rest mode. So it could be energy, leader, battle card, unison. So Secret Rare is stupid strong and super abusable. So that's the Gogeta lineup. Kind of going into a couple more generic things here. We play 2 Oobs. We are playing a blue deck. People tend to anticipate the inclusion of Oob now. So I've played this card once, I think, because my opponent was Z-charging stuff. But generally, people aren't Z-charging unless they need it, and then they immediately spend their Z energy. So the Oob isn't as valuable. Otherwise, I would increase the number of Oobs in the deck. But the card is still really good, worth the inclusion. If your opponent walks into it, they just get punished for it. MVP of the deck, besides the Aegis pieces, are going to be Kefla Lightning Speed. So these are a rival, 2 blue and a yellow energy. When this card is played, choose one of your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier, place it at the bottom of the owner's deck. And then activate main, you can choose 1 card in your hand, discard it. This card gains dual attack for the turn. And if you discard another lightning speed, you get to draw 2 cards in addition to that. So, card is super good. What usually ends up happening, you have the Secret Rare on board, you have the 8-drop on board, you activate both Aegis, restand 4 energy, super combo, pay the 3, play the Kefla, because usually your opponent is trying to push on those opportunities where they actually have a chance to get damage through. And you just punish them for doing that. So, kind of moving on to some of the defensive package that we run. I run 3 of the Android 17 Defending Friends. It's really the only floodgate that we run in the deck. I mean, when you look at Kefla, the Secret Rare, and the 8-drop, all 3 of these cards have blocker on them. So most of the time, you're intercepting your opponent's attacks with blocker. And then your opponent isn't really incentivized to combo up to take these cards out, so you get multiple blocks out of it. But in the event that we can't block, or the opponent's going to aggro, we have Android 17 Defending Friends. One of the problems this deck has early game is building up Z energy. So unless you're Z Awakened, or you have a Z battle card on the field, you usually don't meet the requirements to get the flood effect on Defending Friends, but in the pinch, it's a 1 energy negate that puts a comboable card on the field for the next turn after it gets to restand. We run 2 Zamasu Eliminator. We don't really have a lot to do during like the first 3 turns of the game, unless we see the secret rare. So having Zamos the Eliminator gives us a counterplay to stop incoming Z battle cards or threats on the opponent's field. It's indestructible, so it's going to stick around and become a combo piece after that. But just being able to, you know, if your opponent's going into one of their key Z battle cards, you counterplay it, negate its skills, rest mode something, and draw a card. So it replaces itself. I don't find myself playing this card all the time, but it's pretty good. If you have his blue, yellow, and energy already, he ignores energy exhaust himself. So it's just an all-around flexible spot in the deck. I play 2 Hit the Revoker. Again, we're manipulating energy a lot. So being able to catch your opponent, if your opponent's only planning on spending 2 energy in a turn, and you have 3 open energy, you can hit the Revoker, tap their 2 open energy or whatever, and then they're subject to whatever punishment you can put out there. This is an easy card to side out, so it doesn't always stick around. I don't play this card every game, but I played it a few times, and when it has been played, it's been really good. So 2 Hit the Revoker. Going into the super combo lineup, we do run 2 Zamos Sacred Disbelief. We do run a rival in the deck, so having a free blue-yellow super combo is really good for kicking off that arrival. It's really good defensively if they have multiple threats up on the field, or if they haven't swung with their lead. You can just combo, tap the lead, and then arrival. And then the last 2 slots are Gogeta. We don't charge off the top of the deck at all, really. So the chance of there being a non-blue card in our energy is almost 0. Even though we do run 9, I think, pure yellow cards in the deck, those cards never hit the energy unless we want them to, but we're never going to do that knowing that we run these super combos. The deck draws a ton, and I can honestly make an argument for playing 4 Zamos Sacred Disbelief. Just because of how much the deck draws itself. Like, you draw an absolute ton. I've had games where I have like an 18 card hand in this deck. So, super combo lineup. Moving on to our extra cards, just stuff to do with the energy that we do have. I run 3 of the Ultra Instinct Blue Kamehameha. This is another flex spot in the deck. These can be whatever you want them to be. Offensively, it draws you a card. Defensively, it restands an energy, so it's a great way to get out of big swings when your opponent has the opportunity to go through with them. So 3 of those. We're playing blue, so of course we're going to run 4 Dimension Magic, because if you're running blue and not playing 4 Dimension Magic, you're doing it wrong. 2 Senzu Bean. I've never used the card. We have enough energy manipulation without Senzu Bean. The big thing is floodgating out. You know, once we're Z-Awaken and you Senzu Bean, your leader's a 25k. Most of the time your opponent is going to have to invest additional cards to get that damage to go through. So 2 Senzu Bean, I do side a 3rd. And then last card is a Frost Deadly Poison. Again, another flex spot in the deck. But if you have the secret rare innate drop on field, you're restanding 4 energy plus 2 energy on your Z leader during your turn. So it's super easy to resolve Frost Deadly Poison. The biggest issue with this card is a lot of big bombs nowadays have Deflect on them. So sometimes Frost just sits dead in your hand and doesn't do anything. Other times it wins you the game. Looking at the Z, because there are a couple pieces in here that are really important. There's the Z leader. So the Z leader, you have to be 3 or less life. It's 2 Z energy and then 1 blue energy. And then once per turn, when you play a multicolored Gogeta using Union, you get to draw a card. Choose one of your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier, and place them at the bottom of the owner's deck. When this card attacks, draw 1 card, and then activate battle. If it's your turn and you have a Gogeta or Veku with Aegis on the field, so you have to have the Goku or Veku on the field to do this, but you can send a blue card and a yellow card from your drop to your warp and restand 2 of your energy. But it has to be on your turn, and then you can only play yellow battle cards for the turn. So, big thing to remember there. Generally what we want to do is spend 2 energy, swing, activate battle, restand 2 energy, and then spend 4 energy, or spend 4 energy on, like, say, a Gogeta, and then pass the turn with 2 open energy off of this effect. Again, using this effect will restand both the secret rare and the 8-drop off their own effects. So you can swing lead, activate this effect, restand the secret rare, restand the 8-drop, and provide a ton of pressure. I mean, those are huge swings. So unless you're under a floodgate or your opponent has blockers to boot, whatever. But that's the Z leader. Z battle card, Soul Punisher, the Cleansing Light. Permanent. If your leader is a Gogeta Z leader and you're activating Aegis, instead of discarding a card, you can send a blue and yellow card from your drop to your warp. And then activate battle. If you have 5 or more energy for a blue and yellow energy, you can send this card to you can remove this card from the game, choose your leader, give it 30,000, and triple strike for the turn. So this is usually the kill shot. A lot of people forget that this has that effect. This is usually the kill shot. The opponent doesn't realize that you're going to be able to give your leader triple strike and make it 50,000 without comboing any cards. So you can spend the 2 energy on this, activate battle here, restand the 2 energy that you spent to use this, and then you have your energy open for combos, Ultra Instinct, Kamehamehas, whatever you need to push that damage through to end the game. So if your opponent's at 3 or less life, your leader attack goes through, you pretty much win the game if you're at 5 or more energy. Beerus, just a generic good blue card. It's quite a bit of pressure. It's a 15k swing, and then for 2 extra blue energy, you essentially get to attack again. I'm not going to go into much detail on this card. I almost never play it. Cell, this is good for clearing the field if your opponent has a small field. I learned the hard way that this does not work against the new Janemba deck because everything is 6 or more, and he only affects 5 or less, but it's another good way to clean up the field. You don't have a ton of removal outside of Kefla in this deck and the leader effect, so... because we can only play yellow battle cards after we activate the opponent's effect, we do run 1 Agent of Destruction SS3 Vegeta. I've never played it. It's really expensive, 3 energy and 2 Z energy, so it's a super big investment to play, but if you need to close the game out in a pinch, it's a great way to do it. And then last is going to be the Android 21 with Vegeta. Just spend your energy, play Android 21, rampant energy, absorb an opponent's battle card.
You don't want to do that for you.
You don't want to do that, but if you're trying to clear out the game and you need the extra energy, you'll do it. So, yeah, and that's the deck.
Awesome. Appreciate it, Fluff. Like always, guys, buttons, links. You know what to do.